ROTC.
Good evening, Montrose football fans, and welcome to playoff football here, and welcome to MHS Media as we get set for quarterfinal football action as your Montrose Indians are hosting the Trojans of Fountain Fort Carson High School out of Colorado Springs. Right now we have the Montrose High School Junior ROTC taking the flag out to the middle of the football field, and as we get set, we'll have the singing of the national anthem by the MHS choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great rendition of the national anthem by the Montrose High School Choir as the ROTC marches the flag off the field. We'll be set here for opening kickoff in just a few minutes. I'm Larry Newland, along with Pat Hooley, again bringing you tonight's broadcast here on MHS Media. And we are proud to be working tonight for Zach and Caitlin, who are our bosses tonight, so we got to behave, Pat.
Well, I have to behave more than you because Zach is right next to me.
Okay, all right. Well, it is the quarterfinal round here in the Colorado High School football playoff, and you get to this point, well, there are no weak teams. Fountain Fort Carson comes in tonight, 10-1 overall. The Indians undefeated on the season, 11-0. But Fountain Fort Carson comes in. These two teams identical in terms of stats, really, other than passing stats. But defensive stats, rushing stats, they're very equivalent. What Montrose is probably not seeing, except coming into this night with this team, is the overall size.
When you look at their offensive line, it has literally the size of a small college team, anywhere from 230 to 280, and it's across the board, Larry. You know, there isn't a 190 or a 195 even listed on the roster. Everybody with O-line next to their name is well over 230 pounds. It's a big group.
Let's give you an idea. First quarterback tonight will be number 1. That is Tavion Tooley. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. At wide receiver, number 5, you'll have Vicente Herrera, 6'3", 183. At number 11, at tight end, is Josiah Silva Stevens. He is 6'3", 205. At number 12, another wide receiver, Darian Martin, 5'8", 178. He's the little guy on the bunch. At running back, their leading rusher, number 21, is 5'10", Desmond Oliver. They list him at 190. You'll also see Ty Fobb, number 33. He's a sophomore, 6', 208. Your line at left guard, number 54, Peyton Magnum, 5'9", 225. At right guard, number 55, Josh Torres, 6'1", 230. At left tackle, you have Lincoln Papoli at 6'5", 250. Your center, 62, Isaac Wright, 6'1", 235. And at right tackle, Eric Tapaza, number 65, 6', 240. And oh, by the way, their tight end, number 87, Isaac Logo, 6'3", 225.
But you know, Montrose is always outsized.
Yep.
But what Montrose makes up for it is disciplined play and quickness and not hurting themselves with penalties. Montrose is going to kick off. It'll be Sandaleva, the junior kickoff artist, who usually gets it into the end zone. Back deep, looks like number 81, Cora Yandel, and really can't see the other number. But Fountain Fort Carson will get the ball first. This quarterfinal game is underway. It's going to be a line drive kick to the right side of the field. Cutting across the field, coming back, cuts back, eludes one tackle, and that is Desmond Oliver. And right there, Larry, you can see his cutback ability.
Yeah, they had a wall set to the bench side of the Indians, and he cut back to the middle. But now the big test. The test for tonight for Indians defense is going to be up front. How Luke Barney, along with Demarion Lopez, 55, Luke Barney, number 44, and Big Tosi Jackson, number 75, handled his front five of the Trojans of Fountain Fort Carson.
And it's good to see Tane Ela out there, right outside linebacker, moving around very, very well. Obviously recovered from that twisted ankle. Tooley in the gun. They'll reset two receivers to the left side, two wides to the right. Tooley going to hand it off. This is Oliver trying to get around the corner, and the Indians are there. 4 helmets to the ball, and he gets little or nothing.
And that's what I wanted to see. It's going to be a lot of responsibility tonight defensively for number 5, Ashton Oberg, and the man you mentioned, Tainila, as trying to maintain and hold that edge and do not let this group of athletes from Fountain Fort Carson get to the corner and use their speed to get upfield. So good start for the Indians defensively.
He never got out of the backfield, Larry. He lost almost 4 yards. 2nd and 14 from their own 22. Now Oliver to the right. Tooley rolling out, going to throw for the first time. He's got his reception. He's going to get out there. This is Herrera. He's going to pick up close to 9 yards. He's going to bring up 3rd and at least 5, maybe 6.
On the film that I watched against Fountain Fort Carson, a lot of their passes, they will take you deep, but they do like the Indians. They want to run little 5-yard outs, let their athletes get the yardage. The Indians are used to that. That's all they see against Vista Ridge and Palmer Ridge. So big 3rd down for the Indians defensively right now.
Ball on the right side of the field. Going from right to left are the Trojans. Tooley in the gun, puts Herrera in motion. Going to be a handoff, going to be coming around the outside. The Indians are going to sniff this out. He's not going to get the first down. Fountain Fort Carson is going to have to punt the ball away. 3 and out.
Well, it was a great job once again over there defensively for the Indians, holding the edge. Torrey Eckerman came up, but again, it was Ashton Oberg that really stretched that, and now the Indians will drop back Holman back deep, and let's see who will come in to punt for. They had like 3 kids trying to punt the ball. Yeah, it's going to be
Tooley.
Yeah, it's Tooley, the quarterback. So with him back there, you got to always be aware of the fake.
Definitely there, can throw it. Indians will cover the outside. Takes his time, be a driving kick, and it's going to hit. It's going to take an Indian bound, and then bounces back. It's down by the Trojans. It'll be Indian first down at their own 38-yard line. 10:47 to play here in this quarterfinal game. First possession for the Indians, 0-0.
So we'll see what the Indians, how they want to start attacking this out of the last weekend. The Denver South Colts, now the Rebels, excuse me, or actually it's
Ravens.
The Ravens, not the Rebels, took away the fullback. So let's see what the Indians could do against Fountain Fort Carson.
Typical double wing set. Now Wareham comes out from under center, looks to the sideline, makes the call. They don't reset anyone. Wareham looks over the line. 4 down linemen. And it'll be the fullback drive, and boy, for a moment I thought a ball came out there. It was a helmet. So up the middle goes Griffin. He'll pick up about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7, just outside their own 40-yard line.
So the Indians staying with their big package in there. They got big Luke Barney in at tight end. Their center will be Damian Lopez. Again, Griner at 1 guard. I believe we'll check it if Ela's in at guard, or if it's going to be the Cortland Nelson. We'll check that as they do after this play.
Quick count. They'll give it off. This is Hartman up the middle, driving driving. He's hit behind the line of the scrimmage and drives forward for the first down. Gets right near the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Indians, their own 49.
Great sign for the Indians off the left side of that offensive line. Big hole. As again, Hartman, the running, they're going to have to battle, especially early here in the first quarter. Kind of start wearing these big guys out up front for Fountain Fort Carson.
Hartman got a lot of his yards on that very same cutback last week. They'll go double wing to the left. In motion is Hartman. Inside handoff to Griffin. Goes up. He's hit at the line. Drives forward. He's smothered down. Gain of maybe 2. He gets into Trojan territory at their 48. It'll be 2nd and 8.
So what you get out of Blake Griffin that his brother brought is you're going to get a little more speed. He doesn't have quite the power that his brother had, but if he gets past somebody, he's got more speed.
Kurtz goes wide to the left. 2nd and 8. Wareham comes out of center. Gets the call from the sideline, comes back. They don't reset anyone. Now he talks to Griffin. Goes back under center. Takes his time. Man in motion is Hartman. It'll be Griffin on the right side. Breaks off a tackle and gets the first down to the 37-yard line of the Fountain Fort Carson Trojans. And Larry, the one thing, he doesn't have the power, but boy, he hits that hole in a hurry.
He hits it. He's got more speed, is what I was saying earlier. But again, there you see the Fountain Fort Carson really crowding the line of scrimmage. They had almost 7 guys on the line, and then they were playing 4 behind. And once you break that first group, there's a lot of running room out there.
Now they'll go split backs in the backfield. Wareham under center. Turns, gives it to Griffin up the middle. He's hit at the line. He'll gain about 2. That gets right to the 35-yard line. Swarmed under there by 4 different Trojans.
Inside, they got some big guys on that line, and they are led by their middle linebacker, number 33, Ty Fobb, as he's their leading tackler on this team for Fountain Fort Carson. But again, if the Indians can, what I'm looking forward here is the next trap play coming here. Because big number 99 out there, he is going to be easy to trap. He is Michael Watson. 255 pounds of him.
Indians quickly to the line, split back. Inside handoff to Griffin. Ball's out this time. It is fumbled, and the Trojans have it. Griffin got hit at the line. The ball flew forward, and turnover to the Trojans. They will have a 1st and 10 from their own 34, 7:59 to play here in the first.
When you got those kind of big bodies banging on the young sophomore, but ball security is going to be something huge tonight for the Indians. This team, Fountain Fort Carson, last week against Golden, came up with 5 turnovers during the game, this defense. So ball security in playoff football, it's an easy thing to say, but it's crucial.
They are at their own 31. 1st and 10, going from right to left. Crowd gets loud. Man in motion is Herrera. Tooley's going to keep it himself off the right side, gets hit at the line, keeps driving forward, and he's so big, Larry, he falls forward, he gains 2 yards.
Well, like I said, he's 220-some pounds, so, it's hard to make him go backwards, but again, a good sign for the Indians. The other thing I noticed when he's running the football, Pat, he runs straight up and down, so Indians are going to get a lot of hits on that body, that big body.
Picks up the better part of 4 yards, 2nd and 6. No score here early in the first. Man in motion, right to left. Tooley will hand it off. This is Oliver trying to get to the outside. Indians in good pursuit. They're going to drive him down. He's going to pick up no more than, actually he's going to get just past the line of scrimmage. So Larry, he ran about 15 yards to gain maybe a half a yard.
Again, good job out there. Griner really doing a good job coming from his linebacker spot along with Tain Hila. Really strung him out. And again, if the Indians can keep this team going east and west and north and south, they're going to be in good shape.
3rd and almost 6 yards to go. They've got to get to their own 41. Ball right on their 35. 2 wides to the right. Oliver will line up to the right side with a wingback. Tooley going to roll out. Going to fire the ball down the sideline. Hits his man, but immediately knocked out of bounds. I believe that's Gabe Miller out there again.
Actually, it was Ashton Holberg. Miller had the deep guy. They threw the underneath guy, and Holberg came flying out there from his inside spot, and he launched him about 2 yards into the Fort Carson sideline.
So the fumble doesn't hurt the Indians. They force another 3 and out. The Trojans have had the ball twice here in the first 5.5 minutes. They've had to punt both times. Tooley back to punt. Again, remember, he is the quarterback. Long count, good snap. Takes his time. High driving kick, fair catch called for, and the Indians will have their second possession. 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. 32-yard line, excuse me.
So early here with 6:28 to go in the first period, the Montrose Indians defense coming up strong here. The offense has shown they can move the ball. It's just going up against these big bodies from Fountain Fort Carson, we're going to have to really hang on to that football, because they're, you know, those big guys in there, they're stopping them, and then the next guys are punching at the ball. So.
Ball in the middle of the field, second possession. Kurtz will come wide to the right. Now Orberg will reset to the right side. In motion is Hartman. Inside handoff, back to Griffin. Griffin drives up. He's going to pick up almost 8 yards, just right up the gut, Larry. It'll bring up 2nd and 2.
You know, that's just an old ISO play off the tackle. Instead of running the old I formation and run them off the guard, they just let a blocker up off tackle. That created the space for Griffin. And again, as I said, if he gets into the second level, he's going to be hard to deal with all game.
Well, we've already got a couple of those big down linemen for Fountain Fort Carson with their hands on their hips. Double wing position. Now Oberg will drop back over to the left side, reset, single back, Hartman in motion. Wareham's going to keep it, going to fire it over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. That was thrown into heavy coverage, and we are lucky that one didn't get picked off. Trying to get it to Oberg.
Yeah, they're trying to use the tight end, drag it from the backside, but again, Fort Carson, this is we said at the beginning of the game, this is a solid defense. They had 2 guys there, and you know, I'm sure Coach told the sophomore, okay, just eat it if you have to, or throw it away.
If you see a whole lot of white out there, just run it. Indians, 3rd and 2. Clock stop, 5:42 to go here in the first, no score. Kurtz will go wide to the left. Man in motion, inside handoff to Griffin. He will have the first down and a little bit more. Drives forward, gets out over the 45 to the 46.
So we got Indians pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10, ball just over the 45-yard line. And again, they'll reset Oberg, this time to the right side, double wing, Kurtz to the right. Inside handoff, Griffin hit at the line, he'll drive forward, pick up 2. So they're going to keep running in the middle and get those linebackers up.
Well, it's the Indians are never going to go away from their fullback. That is the prime aspect of the double wing offense, is your fullback. And 2-yard gains are okay for the Indians right now, especially out of Blake. Now they'll just keep pounding that, and then all of a sudden they're going to hit you on the wings with Hartman and Miller.
Wareham goes under center, steps out, looks to the sideline, makes the call, double wing, man in motion. They'll hand it off to Griffin, and he is hit hard. Wow, that was a big-time football hit. He gains a yard, but he paid for it.
That's because you got a big-time middle linebacker in big number 33 standing out there. That is Ty Fav. He's one of the better linebackers I've seen in high school.
I'll tell you, that was a collision. So 3rd and we got to call it a full 7 yards to go. Kurtz will go wide to the left. Goldberg will reset left. Double wing, Wareham under center. Harshman in motion. Harshman gets it, cuts up the middle, hit at the line, tries to fight forward, and does fight into Fountain Fort Carson territory. It's going to be 4th and almost 3. This will be an interesting call for Coach Mertens.
So they're going to bring in Jackson as he comes in, as they're going to go with their heavy package right now. Jackson Tosi and big Luke Barney coming into the game, add a little bulk up front here. So, but this is the Indians. This is what they do. Coach Mertens will go for 4th down almost every time if he feels he can get it.
Well, especially in this area of the field. Indians come up. Now Fountain has to be very disciplined. Wareham will give a hard count. There's the handoff. Into the line. Indians have the first down off the left side.
You know, I know a lot of people say this is boring football to watch, but this is how you win football games in the playoffs. You hear, if you tune in on Sundays, you listen to all the analysts on NFL Sunday. When it gets to playoffs, who wins? Defense and teams that run the football.
Teams that run. And we have good weather. It isn't even really that cold out there. It's a perfect night for football. 2:52 to play here in the first period. Indians on the drive. Second possession. It is 0-0. They'll send two wides to the right. Unusual formation for them. Single back. They're going to throw a bubble screen out to Oberg. Gets it. Gets a block from Harshman. Oberg fights through a tackle and falls forward, and he will have the first down. And that's a good sign when that young man can start catching the ball.
Especially since he's wearing a cast. So if he can catch the ball while he's got that cast on his hand. But that's a new wrinkle that the Indians have added offensively this year. We have not seen that little slip screen that they just ran.
Oh, it was a really good block by Harshman out there also. So Indians with a 1st and 10 from the Fountain Fort Carson 30. 2:15 to play here in the first. No score. Kurtz will go wide to the left. Ball on the right near hash mark. Double wing. Man in motion is Harshman. They'll give it off to Griffin up the middle. Big hole, and he gets hit quickly, but he still gets a quick 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
And that's what I was looking for here. It's that little inside trap block. And even though, you know, trap play with 3 to 4 yard gain, perfect play. The Indians will take that 4 times in a row.
Yeah, I can do that math. You need 10, you get 12. So 2nd and 6 from the 27 of Fountain Fort Carson. Wareham comes to the line, double wing. Griffin at fullback, man in motion. They'll turn, inside handoff to Griffin. Griffin breaks through the line, or that's Harshman, and into the end zone he will go. Somehow he found an opening out there, and we look at the field, no flags. Indians take a 6-0 lead with 1:20 to play here in the first. That will be a 27-yard run. Great ball fake by Wareham. I was sure that Griffin had it. And Harshman takes it in. And the Indians take an early lead. That'll bring Leyva out for the extra point. He was 8 for 8 last week.
Pat, there's that same play I described earlier. It's just an ISO play with the lead block by Griffin, followed up by Hartman.
Kick right down the middle. And the Indians, with 1:20 to play, take a 7-0 lead in this 4A quarterfinal game over the number 8 seeded Fountain Fort Carson Trojans. We're going to take a little 1-minute break. We're going to go silent.
Well, a great drive by the Indians that time, Pat, is a good ball control right after the fumble, and then come back after the second possession and take it down and drive it down there. Great statement by the Indian offense.
And just where they want to be. They want to have the lead so that when they get the ball back with the lead, they can just continue to eat the clock. Leyva to kick off one more time. Comes up. To be a high kick, this will be returned. It'll be Oliver. Oh, the ball bounces up. It's a live ball. He picks it up and then just gets hammered. Oh, my. That ball took a backwards bounce. Did Leyva fumble that?
No, he secured it. It looked like they was going to fumble it, but...
Well, he took it. He had the ball up. He came up like a shortstop and picked it up on the bounce, and then he just got run over. So, Fountain Fort Carson has the ball. This will be their third possession of the first period. They trail 7-0. Leyva has been held. I think he's got negative yardage. Oliver has got negative yardage. The young man who's got over 1,500 yards of rushing this year. Tooley in the gun. 2 wides to the right, 1 to the left. They'll reset the tight end out in the slot. So now they go trips to the right. Oliver in the backfield. High snap. They'll give it to Oliver. No, this is not Oliver. And flag comes flying from the sideline. This was Steven Silva on the run. He'll gain yardage, but the flag came out as he turned the corner. So we'll see what the call is. First flag of the game.
I think it's going to be a holding call against Fountain Fort Carson. Again, trying to get the edge. So early in the game, here in the first period, it's been, if you're looking at Fountain Fort Carson's strategy, they're doing their best to trying to get to the edge of the Indians' defense. And right now, the Indians have been super solid, keeping them from heading north and south.
Really, the only time they sort of run north and south is when Tooley ran the ball. And even that was he was trying to get outside. So way, way back to their own 10-yard line. 1st and 20. Tooley in the gun. Takes the snap. Hands it off. Coming to the outside. Oliver gets some running room. Picks up about 14 yards. Gets out near the 24. So the first gain that he's had of any size.
So good job off the right tackle for Fountain Fort Carson. The Indians kind of got caught up inside. And first big run by Fountain Fort Carson here in the first period.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 6. Very doable for this very potent offense. Tooley trips to the right, takes the snap. He's going to run it himself. Goes up to the line and runs into a solid wall of black jerseys. Larry, look at that. There are 11 jerseys, or 10 jerseys on top of the pile.
I just looked out on the field. Of the 22 kids that are on the field right now, 4 of them weren't on the pile.
Yeah, and 10 of them were black shirts. 5 seconds to go. That will be the last play of the first period. So we're going to go to the second period of this 4A quarterfinal playoff game with the Montrose Indians leading Fountain Fort Carson 7-0. We're going to take about a 1-minute break.
Up and they've done a great job. Now this is a big test, I think, right now. I'm not in terms of flipping the game, but if the Indians defense can stop them right here, force another punt and let the Indians offense get up a couple, score another touchdown, get up 14 on these guys, we might see a different Fountain Fort Carson football team for the rest of the game.
3rd and 5 as they flip the field. Now Fountain going from left to right as we look at them. They've tried to get to the outside. Oliver just got kind of an inside run for 14. Would not be surprising if Tooley tries to throw for this. Tooley in the gun. High snap. He is going to throw. He's got a man out there, and he overthrows his receiver, trying to get it out there to Davian Martin. And that high snap just threw everything off for Tooley and the offense.
Yeah, it took his rhythm out, and it also good coverage out there by Miller out there on the far corner. He was right there in the hip pocket.
So that'll bring up 4th and 5, and for the 3rd time in a row, it's going to be Fountain Fort Carson having to punt the ball. The one positive they had, they did gain some yards on this, but the penalty really hurt them. Tooley, another punt. This will be a low driving kick. It's going to bounce, and everybody yells, get away from it. It'll be downed inside Indian territory at their 34 or 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians.
I was looking at there. Oh, I see what. One of the officials had their flag out. I was going to say he's waving a flag, but I think he threw his flag at where the ball was touched by the thing instead of a beanbag.
I know. I had the same thought. So just underway here in the second period, first possession of this second period for the Indians. They do lead at 7-0, 1st and 10. They'll stay in their base double wing formation. Griffin at fullback. Wareham under center, now stands up. Comes back under center, gets the play. Calls it. Indians do not reset. In motion, in double handoff. And Harshman's going to get caught in the backfield. That play worked very well last week. This week it loses about a yard.
Again, the timing wasn't really right there for the Indians to run that play. They basically block everybody down away from the reversal, but timing wasn't there this time.
Now the Indians behind the sticks by a half a yard. Have to call it 2nd and 11. Again, looking to the sideline, waiting for the call. Indians don't mind using the entire play clock. It shortens the game. Wareham goes under center, double wing. Kurtz to the right. They'll hand it off, and it's going to be an end around. Miller around the right side. He's got room to run. Down the sideline, and a good job out there by the cornerback of holding his ground, because if he had gotten blocked, Miller would still be running.
Good play. Everybody, the fake inside to Griffin sucked everybody in for Fountain Fort Carson, and you get Miller and Hartman on the edge, and you better be ready to run.
They turn into a blur out there. 10:58 to play. He went out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. 7-0 Indians, but now they are driving again in Fountain Fort Carson territory. Wareham under center. Kurtz to the left. Inside handoff. This is the trap. There goes Harshman again. He's going to catch him. Same play, same result. But we've got a man down on the field. No flags. The touchdown will score. It's going to be a 43-yard touchdown run by Harshman to make it 13-0 with 10:50 to play. But more important, it's Bodie Griner on the ground, and he is hurting. And this could be huge. Stands up, putting weight on that left leg. They've already lost one of their most talented seniors, Austin Griffin, with a hamstring. But as Bodie walks, he walks better and better and better.
So the Indians punch it in there, take that 13-0 lead. Leyva with the extra point attempt here at 10:50. It's going to take a lot to get Bodie Griner out of this game. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and the two games that I've done, Mr. Leyva is 10 for 10. So with 10:50 to play in the first half, the Indians take a 14-0 lead on two long runs by Harshman. And Larry, you got to wonder if Fountain has been behind in any game other than the loss to Chatfield.
Well, they haven't. I can tell you that, because they're beating everybody by 30-some points per game. But again, it was the same play they scored the first touchdown on. And you get Hartman and you get Miller, and if you happen to get young Griffin into open area, right now the Indians will outrun them. We haven't, there was a good sign right there with Miller and then Hartman of the speed that the secondary has for Fountain Fort Carson, and right now we can outrun them.
And Ethan was pulling away from the cornerback or safety who was trying to catch him. So back again. Fountain has two backs back near the goal line. Leyva approaches. He'll drive it, and this one will go well into the end zone, and Fountain will come out on the touchback. 1st and 10 from their own 20, but they trail 14-0 with 10:50 to play here in the first half.
Well, that was more like the Leyva I've been watching all year long, is kicking in the end zone. But I have to think the first couple, I think, were intentional. So, yeah, Griner's back into the limping a little bit, but I'm telling you, this kid is so tough that you're going to have to run over him with a Mack truck to get him out of the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the stretcher crew trying to carry him off. There would be a big tussle. So Fountain comes back out, 1st and 10 from their own 20, trailing at 14-0, and really not much has gone right for him tonight other than recovering a fumble. High snap, over the head, ball loose on the ground, and Fountain manages to get to it. That went over Tooley's head. Now remember, he's listed at 6'2". It bounced off his hands. Oliver couldn't handle it, and it's covered back at their 7-yard lines. So a huge loss of 13 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 23.
And Oberg right there, but Oberg went and tackled it. Thought, if I tackle him, I got teammates behind me, but they were there, but unfortunately, Tooley got there before.
2 wides to the left, 1 to the right. Tooley right on the goal line. Oliver will reset. He'll go in motion. Tooley in the end zone. Fires a screen in the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted in the middle of the field. It might have been Tosi. It was Jackson Tosi. So he tried to lob the ball over the middle. Tosi goes in at about 6'3", just reached up. Good hands, man. He's got a reception, interception. The defense is just wild all over him. He twisted an ankle maybe, but the Indians have a 1st and goal from the 3.
Well, what happened was the play before that on the fumble, Tosi had his foot stepped on, and he was limping around out there. Very next play, coming through, Barney puts tons of pressure on Tosi, lobs it in for the middle screen, and Jackson was right there, makes the catch. Indians in great shape.
Luke Barney comes in replacing Kurtz. Now Luke goes in at a tight end position. We did throw a touchdown to him last week, and it was in this very area. Luke on the left side. They'll go overbalance to the left. Wareham going to hand it off. Griffin hit, and he'll be dropped short of the first down, or the touchdown. He gains about 1.5 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from just inside the Fountain Fort Carson 2.
Again, not in a hurry. The Indians they'll still work the clock like they always do.
Wareham brings the play in from the sideline. Clock running, 9:39 to go in the half. Indians trying to add on to that 14-0 lead. Again, they'll go heavy to the left. Man in motion. Inside handoff. Oh, my goodness. Griffin gets hammered once again by Favre, and I'm telling you, when you get hit by Favre, you go down.
Yeah, he is one of the, I said earlier, one of the better linebackers I've seen in the state, but he plays some serious football behind that line.
Well, we're seeing 2 of the better linebackers in the state between Griner and Favre. He does gain yardage. It's inside the 1-yard line. So it's 3rd and goal. Wareham will bring him out. Heavy to the left again. Man in motion. Inside handoff and touchdown. Blake Griffin gets the 1-yard touchdown run with 8:50 to play here in the first half. And the Indians take advantage of their turnover, fumble recovery, and drive the ball 3 yards on 3 plays, take a 20-0 lead, and Leyva in for his 3rd extra point of this half.
Yeah, great job. Great blocking up front, great patience by the Indians. They just kept pounding away at what they wanted to do, was pound that middle. Now Leyva, good snap, kick is up, punches it up there, and it's good. Montrose takes a 21-0 lead here in the 2nd period. 8:50 to go, so a great first half here for the Indians. Now, what we got to watch for now is you've got Jackson Tosi down here getting wrapped up. That foot's getting taped up right now as he, again, twisted an ankle or got his foot stepped on prior to making the interception. You want to know the reason why there's been 2 high snaps? He wears number 75 for the Indians, Jackson Tosi. He's lined up right over the center of Fountain Fort Carson, and he is making life pretty miserable for him.
So back for Fountain Fort Carson, Oliver and number 81, that's Cora Yandal. Leyva to kick off. 8:50 to play here in the half. Indians lead at 21-0. Sandy approaches the ball, and that'll be another touchback. That one almost goes out the back line. So again, Fountain Fort Carson has to go 80 yards. They'll have a 1st and 10 from their own 20.
So now the Indians again will go out defensively. Let's see if they send. He's not quite ready to go out, so we're going to see who's going to take over that all-important nose guard position right now for the Indians defensively.
Looks like Demarion Lopez is going out on the defensive line.
He's going to go to
Who's
tackle.
in the middle?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to pick up here. So
We'll get it in a second. So Thule back out, right behind, he's in the gun. Right behind him is Oliver. He'll put a man in motion left to right. Delayed handoff to Oliver, gets hit at the line, and he'll be dropped for no gain. There was a hole there for a moment, and then it closed in a hurry. So 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Everybody looks to the sideline. Now they'll come reset. They'll send one wide way out to the left side, 2 to the right. Thule in the gun with Oliver straight behind him. There's a good snap. He's going to throw a little bubble screen out to the side, and this goes nowhere. Buried out there, waiting to see the number, is number 16.
that's going to be Jackson Killen.
Jackson Killen, he sniffed that out, and they lose yardage on that one. 3rd and 13, they'd be behind the chains all night long.
I believe, if I'm catching the number out there correctly, Isaiah Miller is the young man now playing nose guard. But Jackson's up. He's walking along. Right now, he's just trying to get used to his taped ankle, and
He'll be back.
he'll get back.
So 3rd and 13 for Fountain Fort Carson. 7:28 to play in the half, down by 3 scores. Good snap, fake. Thule with lots of time, looking, fires it down the middle of the field. He overthrows everybody. Double coverage out there on Curtis Jackson, but that ball was way overthrown. Good coverage by the Indians, and Fountain Fort Carson is going to have to punt it away yet again.
Again, you had Hartman back there at safety, dropping deep along with Miller, doing what they do. And the great thing about that is all defensive back coaches will teach you, you stay deeper than the receivers.
Right. Nobody gets behind you. So 7:18, clock stopped on the incomplete. Thule will drop again to punt, and you wonder at what time down this many scores he tries to throw it. Good snap. He will kick it away. High driving kick. It's going to go over Hartman's head and just let it roll. It'll take a Fountain Fort Carson roll down to the 32-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians. But at 7:06 to play in the half, they have a commanding 21-0 lead. And really, Fountain hasn't been able to stop him. The only thing that stopped him was the fumble.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what this offense is based on, is you just don't give up. You just keep pounding away at this big defensive line. And, right now, if you had to pick out the player of the game right now for Fountain Fort Carson, it's number 33, their middle linebacker, in Faye, as he's been the highlight reel.
So Indians come to the line, base double wing formation. In motion is Miller. Inside handoff to Griffin. Griffin in the line, and he will get hit. He will gain less than a yard. It'll bring up 2nd, and we'll call it 9.
So again, good job by the interior line of Fountain Fort Carson. Again, what you see here is Griffin for a yard, Griffin maybe for 2 yards. Now look out for that lead ISO play that has really gashed the Fountain Fort Carson defense.
Kurtz wide to the right. Another inside handoff. Griffin gets hit right at the line again. And actually it's Wareham with the ball. Great ball fake running down the field. And he'll get all the way down to the 15-yard line. What a great ball fake. I thought Griffin got hit, but a flag way back up here at the 48-yard line.
Oh, that's going to be bad. Things we've been waiting on all year to see.
Turning the sophomore loose. He's got some speed, but that yellow flag will slow everybody down.
So I believe the Indians are going to be
So this would be a downfield block if it's it's an illegal block. So the flag was dropped at the 48. Where do they march it off from?
From the spot. They'll go back to the spot,
Line of scrimmage?
from the spot of the foul.
Okay, it's a
I
spot.
believe.
Yeah, it is a spot foul. Okay. So it will still be second down, but now they're going to gain about 4 yards. So it'll bring up 2nd and 5. But that definitely gives Fountain Fort Carson something to think about. And if Montrose moves on, that'll give whoever we play something to think about.
Well, it's been there all year with Gage being able to run the ball a little more often. It started last week. He ran it for the first time. So, you know, they're picking and choosing when to use him, which is perfect, you know. And so unfortunate, but Indians still in good shape right now.
So back inside their own territory, 2nd and 5. Kurtz wide to the left. Wareham will reset Oberg over here to the left side. Under center, man in motion. They'll give it. This is Hartman around the outside, gets the corner, and he'll be drug out of bounds, but he will have plenty to get the first down all the way out to their own 47. And again, Hartman and Miller on the outside. Fountain has no answer for him.
You know, when I've been to practice and watched the Indians practice, one of the things that the offensive coordinator for the Indians really stresses to these backs is you carry out every fake. You do not take a play off. You fake everything, and Miller on a great fake on the reverse gave Hartman a lot of running room.
Kurtz goes wide to the right side. Miller in motion. Inside handoff to Griffin. Gets hit and hit hard. He is taking a beating out there, but he gained almost 5 falling forward. It'll bring up 2nd and, well, almost 6. But boy, he's getting hit hard in there, Larry.
Yeah, well, you know, you're going to get hit by 33. I mean, he's a heat-seeking missile in there. And when you run the fullback as many times as Montrose will in this offense, yeah, that kid's going to take a beating. Now, they have a little ace in the hole that they can use here if they needed to. They could put Tainila back in at fullback.
This is true. Kurtz will go wide to the right, 2nd and 6. Hand off to Miller. Miller's got the corner. Into the secondary he goes. He gets tripped up. Touchdown saving tackle out there by Jaden Allen, number 7. And really, it was a trip. I mean, he just fell at Miller's feet, because if Miller had had a step on him, he would be in the end zone.
I was just looking out the window here. Gabe's dad, Chris, played for me in high school. He was a tackle here at Montrose High School, and I was giving him a little hard time before the game, and I said, I don't know, where did Gabe get his speed? Because you didn't have any speed in high school.
Got to say, Mom must have been pretty fast.
Well, she took credit.
There
Yeah.
we go. So
Anyway.
Fountain has taken a timeout after that run, 4:55 to play, as Coach Novotny can see this one slipping away in a hurry. It's one thing to be down 21-0, but when your offense has not generated a first down. In fact, you have thrown an interception, you've had a holding call, you've punted the ball 4 times. When you see the other team getting ready to go 4 scores up, you better go have a team meeting and try to figure something out.
And on the flip side of that, if you're the Montrose Indians, you don't pull off the pedal.
Oh, no.
You know, you're in a playoff game right now. Your goal is to be playing here next weekend in the semifinals. And you can't say any lead is safe. So you just got to keep putting the gas on and do whatever you can to put these guys away permanently.
Definitely. So the Indians come back out. 1st and 10 from the Trojan 34-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field. They'll stay in their double wing base set. Kurtz wide to the left. Wareham resets Oberg. So they go heavy to the left. Wareham puts a man in motion. And there was a slip, but still, Hartman gets the corner one more time, fights his way downfield, gets knocked out of bounds somewhere around the 10-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the 11, and that sweep to the outside, Fountain Fort Carson just can't stop it.
Well, we talked about this before a game. Fountain Fort Carson has probably never played on a natural turf field.
This is true.
And not only but a dried out natural turf field that
Yeah,
we
it's
got
like a
here.
skating rink out there.
And so Montrose, they practice on it every night. They know how to work this field, and you're seeing it right now.
So 1st and 10 from the Fountain 11-yard line. 4:47 to play. Inside handoff, Griffin battling forward, and into the end zone he goes. 11-yard touchdown run by Blake Griffin. And it's a 27-0 lead for the number 1 ranked seeded Indians. Leyva on the field to try his 4th extra point. And that was a little bit of justice that Blake, after taking the punishment he has, that he gets the touchdown.
The glories of being a fullback. Of course, it's not any different. If we went down and talked to the offensive line of the Indians, they'd say, we're getting beat up, we're getting hit hard here too, but Leyva's kick is going to be good. So good job by the Indians here, 28-0, 4:43 to play here in the first half. And as I mentioned, this is not a time to let up. You want to keep the gas pedal going.
And if you really want to take the heart out of this team, you force a 3 and out here. You don't give them any kind of success.
No, because as I said, this is one and done here in the state playoffs. So you can't take anything for granted now. I see big Jackson Tosi still trying to work on that ankle a little bit. He's limping on it. We'll see if he'll be able to come in. They might just save him through half here. And if the Indians can maintain, and if the young man Isaiah Miller can hold his, doing what he's been doing the last series, then save the big guy. But we'll see as the game develops.
If it keeps getting away from him, we may not see him again. Corey Yandel and Oliver back deep for Fountain Fort Carson. See if Leyva can put it in the end zone one more time. And that one's going to go well into the end zone. And once again, that would have been over the end line. So once again, Fountain Fort Carson down 28-0. 4:43 to play here in the half. Will have to go 80 yards if they're going to get a score.
I told you earlier this year I was doing a game and Leyva came out and tried a 54-yard field goal. He had the distance, just didn't have the accuracy, but that's the kind of leg this kid has.
He does. And I still, one of my favorite plays last week is when he tackled on a kickoff. He made the sideline tackle to save the touchdown. Tooley in the gun again. Oliver behind him. Wides to each side. Good snap. He'll hand it off to Oliver, trying to get around the left side. And he's once again, he breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and manages to get about a 4-yard gain. So it'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Trojans as we go under 4 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the half.
So Jackson Tosi is out at nose guard right now. He's limping, We'll see how long he can stay out there, but he's going to try to give it a go here.
So Tooley brings them to the line. They'll send 2 wides to the right side, 1 to the left. Oliver will set up to his right. Man in motion is Herrera. They'll give it to Herrera. Flag comes flying. Herrera is going to throw the ball down the field. Knocked down, almost intercepted back there. Once again, good coverage back there by Miller. But a flag came flying, so it'll be procedure against Fountain Fort Carson, and their long half continues.
I believe it's going to be a procedure call. I think the 2 receivers left a little early, but the officials are going to talk about it here.
Yep. And Mertens has the opportunity to either take the penalty or decline it and take the down. Clock stopped, 3:59 to play in the half. Indians lead it 28-0.
Miller was in great spot for the interception, but it come flying over Hunter Duke, the free safety came, and a great play. You teach your secondary, everybody goes for the ball.
Yep.
You don't just think your teammates going to intercept it for you. So Hunter Duke batted it out of the air.
So they declined the penalty. 3rd and 5. Good snap. Tooley drops straight back. Looks under pressure. Fires the ball quickly, and it's low. His receiver tried to go to the ground and get it, but Tooley was under heavy pressure from Barney and throws it at the feet of the receiver. It'll bring up 4th and 6.
So what we're asked, you and I, before the game, and we're talking about what we thought keys were, could a down 3 lineman defensively for the Indians start getting pressure on the quarterback? We're starting to see it. Luke Barney's been in there 2 or 3 times now with the pressure. And again, big Jackson Tosi just taking up 2 and 3 blockers. That's freeing up Barney for getting that pressure on the quarterback.
Fountain Fort Carson sends 4 gunners to the right. Good snap to Tooley. He'll kick it. It's going to be a high end over end. Everybody get away from it. Bounces up and takes a fountain bounce. It will be Indian ball, 1st and 10 at their own 43 yard line, excuse me.
So good start. Not just a good start, good first half for the Indians here. Now the offense, if they could run this down and score with like a minute to go and just put this, you're going to put a lot of question marks into this team. And I said earlier, before we got to the 3 touchdown lead, I thought we might see a different Fountain team. I think we're starting to see it.
I think so too. Same base formation. Man in motion. Wareham keeps it. Fires a short pass out. He's got Griffin in the flat. He'll pick up 9 yards on it. And that's that little just fullback, little creep out of the ends, out of the backfield. And a nice accurate throw by Wareham because that's a tough angle to catch.
A little bootleg action out there for Wareham. But again, it's just a fullback coming through the middle and running a little flat pattern.
2nd and 2. Inside Fountain territory. Handoff, waiting. It's Hartman again, and he gets a nice run, good patient run, waiting for that outside block, and he'll pick up the 1st down into Fountain territory to the 34-yard line.
Actually, on that play, you got to see Hartman actually pause, let his blockers hit, and then that burst of speed that got him into the 2nd level. We're starting to see more and more of the Indians' backfield getting into the 2nd level.
Flag comes flying for some reason. I think they reset Kurtz, and I think 2 people moved. I can't say for sure, but the flag came from the sideline. And if it is, I think this is the first penalty on the Indian. No, it's the 2nd one, isn't it?
Yeah.
They had that block in the back. But you know, Larry, we've seen this for years in the playoffs. You get good teams. You don't have a lot of penalties. The men in stripes don't have to throw a lot of flags.
So what happened is when they reset Ashton, he lined up in the neutral zone and he was offside. So they call that automatic.
Well, when you're that tall, you lean forward a lot. Kurtz comes wide to the left. 1st and 15. And Wareham hands it off. Good ball fake again. Up the middle goes Griffin. And he'll get half of the penalty yardage back. It'll be 2nd and 13. Clock running, 2:25 to go here in the half.
The Indians lucked out on that play because Miller was in motion a little early himself. So Indians caught a break, but not getting another flag.
So the Indians will take their time here as far as they're concerned. They do want to get a score, but they definitely don't want Fountain to get the ball back here in the half. 2 wides to the right. 2nd and 13. They'll fire it out. It's Oberg again, and this time he can't catch it. So it was the same play that was successful in the first period, but this time, and that was not a bad throw. It was right there, and he simply couldn't handle it.
Well, he took his eyes off the ball trying to run before he caught it. So.
Yeah, that's a classic move. So the clock stops, 1:58 to play in the half, 3rd and better part of 15 yards to go. Kurtz will come back in. Barney comes out.
Look for Hartman on a drag or hitting that little seam coming up.
Hartman's going out in the slot to the right side. Kurtz out there. Miller in motion. Okay, Wareham, inside handoff to Griffin. It was almost a Statue of Liberty play. Straight arms a player, loses the ball, fumbles it, and Fountain Fort Carson gets it back. So there's a classic case of trying to gain more, taking one hand off the ball and having it punched out. And the 2nd fumble of the game, waiting to see. Haven't seen a man in stripes signal yet, and there it is. So 2nd fumble of the half, and Fountain gets it back with 1:48 to play at their own 27, somewhere around there. 24, excuse me. And they'll have a 1st and 10, but they trail 28-0. They do have 2 timeouts left.
You know, those are the things I talk about. He's out in the open field, and he's got to secure the ball. You got to think all the time as a running back, somebody's coming from behind you. So Fountain Fort Carson's going to take their 2nd timeout. So, you know, again, we can sit up there and say what you should and shouldn't do. These are high school kids; they're going to make a ton of mistakes. But that's just things that as coaching staffs, you remind these guys. You're out in the open field. That's great, but always think that somebody's coming from behind to strip the ball from you. And as we said, Blake is just a sophomore, so he's thrown into big time duty, and he's done a great job at it. Unfortunately, tonight he's put it down on the field twice, but it hasn't hurt the Indians yet so far.
Not yet. So Fountain comes out after taking their second timeout, 1:48 to play in the half. They have a 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Tooley in the gun, as always. Fakes it, looks, going to fire the ball out to the sideline. Has Herrera, but Herrera had to come back for it, and they're actually going to lose about a half yard. It's good coverage once again by the Indians cornerback.
And again, pressure by the Indians. As again, they're starting to get back there. They're getting into the side, into the head right now of Tooley, the quarterback. And, he has not had a great first half. And the Indians are, like I said, they're starting to get into the heads of these guys. And right now, pressure on Tooley has been big. And all of a sudden,
he threw that ball off his back foot, almost like a jump pass, trying to avoid the pressure. Favre goes out. Oliver comes back in the backfield. 2 wides to the left, 1 to the right. Tooley to throw again. Under heavy pressure, throws an inside screen, and it goes over everybody. I'm not sure he knew who he was throwing that to.
No, again, we have Ashton Oberg with pressure, Barney out there with pressure, good coverage out there. I mean, he had nowhere to throw the ball, actually, and he just lobbed it over the receiver into the open area on the field.
Well, Oberg's going up against that big defensive tackle, Faupoli, who comes in at like 290, but he's just quicker than him.
Yeah, a lot faster, yep.
So 3 wides to the right. 3rd and 11. Good snap. Tooley under pressure again. Going to come up, and Oberg's going to blast it. Ball on the ground. Picked up by Greiner. Greiner picks it up and goes to the sideline, and Ashton Oberg forces the fumble, and the Indians get it back deep in Fountain Fort Carson territory with 3 timeouts and 1:28 to play. They lead it by 28.
And all of a sudden, that hurt leg by Greiner feels really good right now. But again, pressure from Oberg. He just ripped through that tackle, got in there, and forced the fumble. And now the Indians with 1:28, super. Now they're in a position now. If they don't put it, they're in a good shot for at least attempted 3. So.
Oh, sure. And boy, give Ashton credit. Tooley got away from him for a moment, and he just would not give up. He took off and drilled him from behind. Tooley never knew he was coming, and the Indians have it 1st and 10 from the 23 of Fountain Fort Carson. They'll send Kurtz wide to the left. In the slot is Hartman. Wing back to the right. Wareham going to throw it down the field. He's got Hartman there, catches it, gets knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. A perfectly thrown ball by the sophomore quarterback. Dropped it right in the bucket as the cornerback was there, and he never saw the ball coming. If he had turned around and looked, I still don't think he could have knocked it down.
Nice out and up move by Hartman, and a great throw by the sophomore quarterback.
So 1st and goal from the 2. Everything going the Indians' way. Even with 2 fumbles, they have not hurt themselves. Wareham under center. Handoff, Griffin hit at the line, fighting, falls forward. Touchdown. 34-0. 1:16 to play. Leyva on the field to attempt his 5th extra point. And the Indians turning this one into a runaway. Hartman to hold. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. And Leyva is perfect on the night. 1:16 to play in the half. The Indians lead it 35-0.
So great shows here in the first half by this Indian squad, as they have just taken everything away from Fountain Fort Carson. They've taken their offensive away, And this defense that came in highly touted this week into this game, the Indians, and give credit up front with Demarion Lopez and Bodie Griner and Tane Ela up there, along with Jason English and Cortland Nelson and Isaac Lovato, or Harshman Lovato in there. These guys, and Barney when he comes in, all those guys up front, and Ashton Oberg, they have taken over this game up front, and they have dominated the front of Fountain Fort Carson.
Leva to kick off yet again. Approaches. And this will be another touchback. They don't even look at, it's like watching an outfielder watch a home run go over their head. You know, they just turn and head for the sideline.
Head for the bench.
So 1st and 10 from their own 20, and that's just a recurring theme for Fountain Fort Carson. Not only do they have to start deep in their own territory, but they've had penalties, they've had plays that have lost yardage, and then, of course, the big fumble. So Thule brings them back out. They have 1:16 to play. They do have one timeout left. Oliver behind him, but he has been a non-factor because of this Indian defense. Thule takes a snap, gives it to Oliver. Oliver up the middle, runs into the line. He will gain maybe 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 as the clock will work its way down.
Timeout is called by the Indians.
Oh, the Indians called timeout.
That time a good defensive stop by Demarion Lopez. So the Indians want to stop the clock. The Indians truly believe they could get another 3 and out here and put some more points on the board. You know, I talked about you just keep the pedal down against it, and the Indians are showing it right now. They are playing to advance is what they're doing right now. They want to put this game away before they go in at halftime. With a 35-0 lead, they've done a great job of it, but they are not messing around.
You know, and Larry, in a quarterfinal game of teams of this quality, the idea of a running clock is just, it's amazing.
It really
because
is.
it's a real possibility here. So, the Indians take their timeout. Thule brings Fountain Fort Carson back out. He'll have Oliver right behind him. Wideouts to each side. Inside handoff, a reverse. Trying to get around, and nothing's going to go. I'm telling you, the Indian defense, they have this sniffed out before anything can happen, and that ball went to Darian Martin. But even he, as soon as he turned the corner, all he saw were black jerseys.
Tane Ela's standing out there going, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you.
And I think Fountain just called their 3rd timeout with 1:04 to play.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch who got it, but again, like I said, the Indians, they'll use theirs because they believe they can put some points on the board here. 3rd and 10, you know, so right now Fountain Fort Carson have to dig deep into their playbook to come up with something that's working.
Yeah, trying to reverse, and Darian, probably one of the faster guys in their team, but he simply didn't have the speed to get around the corner before Ela shut it down. So Fountain back out. 3rd and 10. Thule takes it, looks to run. Inside handoff to Oliver, and Oberg just hitting everything in white out there. He hit Thule, then he came back and hit Oliver. And he's got to be careful because Oliver was already wrapped up. That could have been a roughing penalty.
So a good job by the Indians defense. They stop it. So they're going to force the punt. I believe they used their last timeout here. So now they're going to. Now the interesting thing here from an Indian coaching staff, if you're playing this aggressive, do you go for the block? As long as it takes, Thule takes a long time to punt the ball. So it'll be an interesting call here, especially if you're trying to put this away in the first half in terms like you're talking about a running clock situation.
Could happen. Jackson Tosi just came over. He definitely has a little limp, but at this point, Larry, I think he's playing more, not like he's injured, but just it hurts.
Safety. I can't push like I want to. And
Yeah, he tried to jog right there, and he said, nah, I'll walk. So Thule will drop back to about his 7-yard line. Hartman back inside the 50. Indians showing blitz. Here they come. And Thule is going to shank it. He saw the pressure coming, and the ball will bounce, and the Indians are going to have great field position at the 37-yard line of the Fountain Fort Carson Trojans. 49 seconds to play. Yeah, they're not going to take a knee here, I don't think.
I think they're going to at least give it a couple of shots here. You got Eckerman that's coming to the lineup, so they might put a couple of. We'll see if they go spread it out a little more. We've seen them go 2 and 2 on each side, so we'll see.
Eckerman's going to go to wingback on the right side. Kurtz comes wide to the left. Wareham under pressure, rolls out, fires the ball down. He's got Hartman. Hartman down the sideline, wisely runs out of bounds. Said he stepped out at the 16-yard line. But good job by Wareham avoiding the pressure and keeping his shoulders turned downfield. Fired a strike down there.
And again, that's that little square out, Hartman from his slot. And you just can't cover those. And then he turns on the speed. And now you're seeing the effects of this defense from Fountain Fort Carson being on the field this long in the first half.
And the senior made a smart move. He went out of bounds at the 10. You know, he wanted to stop the clock. He just didn't realize he'd stopped it so soon. So 1st and 10. Kurtz goes wide to the right. Oberg will reset left side. Wareham under center. Turns. He'll keep the ball. He faked the ball to Griffin, dropped the ball, kept the ball, and he gets dropped in the backfield. We're right at the line. Bring up 2nd and 10. Clock running down under 30 seconds to play in the half. Indians come to the line. Double wing formation, Kurtz left. Man in motion. Wareham keeps it, looks in the end zone, fires it down, almost picked off, and then Oberg had an opportunity, and he couldn't find it. So it'll stop the clock with 11 seconds, and again, throwing into a lot of pressure down there. Trying, obviously, I'm going to this play is designed to go to Ashton.
Yeah, it's designed.
And that's where Gage threw it. And that's the second time tonight that he's lucky it came back, or fell to the ground, I should say.
Now watching the alignments defensively, and here, if the Indians wanted to, they've got Kurtz out here, and I'm looking at that slant into the goal line, because the safety's gonna. If you put the man in this left wing in motion,
look how close the safety is. Yep. Man in motion. Wareham looks. He's going to throw it. He's got Kurtz. They'll lateral it to Hartman. The old swinging gate. Oh my, the hook and ladder. The hook and ladder. They hit it to Kurtz. Hartman came running around. Kurtz just lateraled it to him. And into the end zone he goes. And Larry, they did it. They've got a 41-point lead, about to have a 42-point lead. When the half starts, it'll be running clock. Lave it a kick. Good snap, good hold. And he's perfect on the night. 42-0. That play will end the first half, and the Indians, a jubilant team, go into their locker room with a 42-point lead.
Well, if everybody walked into the stadium and you think the Indians would have a running clock late at halftime, everybody would say you were crazy. But a perfect game played by the Indians here in the first half. And right now, you're seeing why they're the #1 ranked team in the state of Colorado right now.
Boy, it's amazing. And, Larry, what comes to mind is either last year or the year before when Coach Scarry was in the booth with us. I remember him making a statement that really rang true. He said, maybe the most overrated thing in high school football is size.
Yep.
And that's what we looked at. We talked about the size of Fountain Fort Carson. Well, it's been absolutely negated by the Indian offensive line and by the speed of Hartman and Miller.
We're going to take about a 15-minute break, and then we'll come back for the second half.
Okay, put your hands together. Here come the Indians.
Did you fire it?
Well, welcome back as we get set for the second half of action. Larry Newland here. Pat Hooley, along with our bosses,
Zach
Zach
Morris
and-
and Caitlin Dillon.
as they are working for MHS Media Class. And we've been very fortunate this year to be able to jump on board. And thanks to Rebecca Sorsberger for letting us come up here and yak, and kind of try to put a little something to the
Well,
broadcast.
What's different about this from radio is we can't make stuff up.
No.
We
No,
have to
we're not.
actually say what's really happening out there. We can't miss the kickoff because of commercials and then come back and redo the kickoff.
So anyway, we want to thank these kids. They're doing a great job. I think it's a great class, and I wish I had something like this in high school.
Hey,
to,
it's a
to
life
take.
skill.
Yeah, it's something that, look what it got us two to do for years and years and years. Something. So anyway, the Indians, an impressive 42-0 lead here in the first half. There's only one score in the first quarter. At 1:20 to go in the first quarter, Hartman went 25 yards. Of course, Leyva, Mr. Automatic, kicks it through. But then the second half, 6 scores in the second half for the Indians. And Hartman had one of them, well, actually 2. Griffin with 3 touchdowns, and then the ending wow play as Wareham throws the ball to Kurtz, the old hook and ladder play, and Hartman scores, and we're in a running clock situation with a 42-0 lead.
And I really wonder, other than, I would imagine, Larry, sometimes at the 8-man or 6-man level, games in a quarterfinal get away, just because that's fast break football. But at this level, 4A or 5A for a quarterfinal game to go to a running clock at the beginning of the second half, I can't imagine it's happened very often.
So the interesting to say what we're going to see here, and I'm sure the Indians will start out with their groups, but we got some guys banged up. We got Bodie Grinders banged up a little bit, Jackson Tosi with a sprained ankle. We're going to see how long the Indians go here before they start pulling these guys out. I look to see, probably, I'm thinking more fourth quarter, where the Indians will make sure that keep this thing where they wanted to keep it, and then start pulling some of these guys out so they be not re-injure anything and hope for nobody else to get hurt. So.
And 42-0 lead, but running clock. The last thing you want to do is give Fountain any kind of a flicker of hope. And if you pull your starters too soon and they get a couple 3 scores against your backups, sometimes momentum is tough to shift. You don't want the momentum to shift at all.
No, you don't. That's why I said you want to keep them. If you can get into the fourth quarter and keep them where you want to have them, then you're in good shape. But you got work to do, and you can't go to sleep, as Pat just said. You've got to be able to execute, and the Indians will get the ball to begin this second half. And if this offense can execute and put another score on the board, then that'll be the Indians could use up, with the running clock, could use up a huge part of the third period.
They could eat up the whole period. If they go on a ground and pound drive like they're well known to do. In a regular running clock situation, there have been times when the other team gets the ball, goes out, 3 and out, or maybe they get 4 or 5 plays, and the Indians get the ball back. The other team never sees it again.
That's true. So anyway, we were at a halftime out talking to to a lot of old friends out in the stands. We've got a great crowd once again here tonight for Indian football. But everybody is amazed at that. You know, it's been a long time since we've seen a high school football team play what you would consider a perfect half. We just watched it with the Indians. One penalty, you know, basically they took Fountain Fort Carson never got a first down in the first half. This Indian offense just put 45 points on a defense that all year long averaged giving up 11 points a game. So, you know, I don't even know if Coach Mertens, if you were to walk down there at the end of this game and say, "Did you see that coming?" he would no, you know. So, but
No way in the world.
I'm happy I did.
Yeah, we'll take it.
So anyway, the Indians will receive here to begin the second half, and it'll be interesting to see.
And it's the first time they've received all night.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Leva, the kicker, he's going, yeah, great. Somebody else kick off. I've been out here too much. But what a powerful leg that young man has. And just can't overemphasize how important it is to be able to put the ball in the end zone and force the other team to go 80 yards. Never give them an opportunity for a big special teams play.
So it looks like we got a lot of I think we're seeing the second group kickoff return team out here right now.
Well, interestingly enough, I don't know if it was is this Coach Mertens right here in the middle?
He's the one with the beard.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was just over talking to Coach Novotny not too long ago, and I wonder if they came to some sort of a gentleman's agreement. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Because we have not seen Fountain Fort Carson's kickoff team, so we have no idea if this is their starting special teams.
We have number 37 out there. I do know that's their kicker.
Yeah, well,
But
he's
other than that,
he hasn't. I hope he warmed up well at halftime. He's
I
been
saw
doing
him
a lot
over
of
kicking
sitting.
in the net in the second period,
Yeah,
just
good.
trying to keep warm.
So back deep for the Indians. Got two men back there. And the second half is underway. High driving kick going to be taken at the 2-yard line, fumbled into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback just as well.
All right, so we'll be seeing some new faces coming in. So we'll get the old chart out here because I have a feeling
Yeah, you're right,
this
Larry.
is JV, or the second team.
This is our second group. And
So it'll be-
defensively, it looks like that is Fountain's
yeah, that's a lot of their
starting.
backups.
That's their starting defense. So going out there,
TJ Saunders is the quarterback now.
Saunders will be at quarterback, and we'll get the. And coming wide to the right will be Amaris Mora. So Saunders under center. They will go the same double wing formation, man in motion, handoff. Around the left side he goes, and a nice gain out there for Austin Zimmer, the sophomore. And a 4-yard gain. So the Indians pick up right where they left off with the first group.
Yeah, again, at this time of night with the lights and shining in the windows here, and Indians with their black
It's
uniforms
really
with their
hard
red
to see the
numbers.
numbers.
So we're going to try to do the best we can get these kids out there that are in the game right now, especially the linemen. It'll be tough to see their numbers.
So Mora will come wide to the right, double wing formation, Saunders under center. And we got two men moving, and that'll be a flag. So that play was dead before it ever went because we had a little mix-up as to which of the wingbacks was supposed to go in motion. They both went in motion, and you just can't do that except in Canadian football.
So we'll
So 5-yard penalty moves the ball back inside their own 20 to the 18. It'll be 2nd and 12. As the clock running down under 10 minutes to play, once again the Indians with a 42-0 lead here in the third period. So coming out there,
number 20, that's Kai Pacino. Looks like he's going to be a fullback. We'll see.
Moore
No.
comes wide to the right. Saunders under center. Man in motion. Saunders inside. No, it's a reverse. Coming around and getting hit hard, but staying up is Pacino. Nice run and great balance because he took a heck of a shoulder-to-shoulder hit and still managed to get some yards out of that.
Yeah, he bounced off that tackle, and if he could have kept his feet, he would have gone a long ways. But yeah,
Picks up almost 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 8.
yeah, I'm looking out here at this defense, and a lot of their down linemen are backups. So
That's true. Yeah, that is true. They still have Fava in there at middle linebacker. Just keep running these young kids away from him. So 2nd and 8. Double wing, base formation for the Indians. And again, we have a mix-up. We have both wing backs in motion, and it'll be another penalty. So this is what you see when the second string comes in.
So Zimmer and Kai are got to settle in on what play's going on here.
So they declined the penalty, and it'll be 4th down. So the Indians, for the first time tonight, are going to have to punt it away. And we'll see who handles the punting for the Indians. And again, just cannot read the number. We apologize. Okay. Oliver back deep, the very dangerous running back for the Trojans. Pressure, nice punt. It is not Oliver. It hits the ground. He lets it go. This was actually Curtis Jackson, and he made a good decision of staying away from that ball. It bounces to the side, and Fountain Fort Carson, they're going to have their best field position, starting field position of the night, 1st and 10 from their own 44. So we'll see who comes out for the Trojans now, Larry. They sent their starting defense out. Thule will come back out.
So it looks like
Oliver is there at running back.
yeah, these are starters.
Pretty much the starting offense. So 1st and 10. 2 wide outs, 1 to each side. Thule will hand it off. No, now he's going to fire the slant. Wide open is Herrera, and Herrera will get down to the Indian 40-yard line. And there had to have been a breakdown on defense there because nobody was covering.
Well, they had a corner late for the Indians getting out there to cover, and when he got out there, he was actually about 15 yards deep, so it was a pretty easy pitch and catch for Fountain Fort Carson.
Clock running, though. Remember, this is running clock with the over 40-point lead. So 6:26 to play here in the 3rd. Deepest penetration of the night for the Trojans. Thule with the ball. He's going to throw a lob pass over the middle to the big tight end, and sticking his head in there and making a nice open field tackle was Austin Zimmer, but another 1st down for the Trojans.
So again, this is what we were talking about, the gamble you take sometimes, you know.
So that was Isaac Logo, the big tight end on that reception. He'll come out in the slot to the left side. Thule in the gun, takes it, hands it off, and Oliver trying to get to the outside. He evades the first row of tacklers, comes back into the middle, and manages to get something out of nothing. But they had him corralled. They just couldn't bring him down. And he made a nice cutback to get about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, so the young guys are, you know, they're still rallying to the football, trying to make plays. It's right now, when I just watch them out there, there's still a little mix-up on trying to get lined up properly for them.
So 2nd and 8 from the 18-yard line of the Indians. Thule takes it, hands it off. Oliver's going to throw it. Throws it into the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. That is Logo, the tight end. So a little trick play of their own for Fountain Fort Carson, and they get on the board with their first score of the night, 42-6, but the clock will continue to run. So they'll line up for the extra point. It'll be the first time tonight that Cade Smith, their kicker, will have an opportunity to show his stuff. Left-footed kicker, the hold will be by Rustin Liana. There's a snap, the hold, the kick is up, and good. Flag came in. We'll see what this is all about. Clock will continue to run. The only time the clock stops is on an injury or when a coach calls a timeout. So even when there's a penalty and they're marching off the yards, the clock continues to run.
And they will enforce the penalty on the kickoff.
So the point is good. And the Indians will come back to the bench. They'll line up for a kick return. The Trojans will go over and send out their special teams. But even while this changeover is happening, the clock continues to run.
So the young guys give up a touchdown, but again, Falcon had to reserve to a halfback, kind of a trick play, halfback pass to the end zone. And the young guys, they were there. They just couldn't jump up high enough to make the play.
Well, Logo is a big guy.
Yeah.
He's listed at 6'3", 225, and the cornerback out there, I think, was lucky to be 5'10".
So now what they got to be prepared for is the onside kick now, the Indians. So.
That would not be surprising. So Zimmer and Mora will go back deep for the Indians. And again, Smith for Fountain Fort Carson. And they're enforcing the penalty, whatever it was.
It was personal foul.
It was a personal foul. So they're going to be kicking off from the Indian 45-yard line. And, this just screams onside kick.
Yeah, it does. And the Indians got to be ready as they, again, they got their backups in the game right now.
Smith approaches, and he will kick it away. I am surprised. They kick it into the end zone. The Indians will have 1st and 10 from their own 20, leading at 42-7 with the running clock down under 2 minutes to play here in the third period.
So we'll see if this young offensive line can get some holes. As I just saw Blake Bersilio running in. He's one of the new linemen in there. Also, Cortland Nelson also in at the line. Try to pick up a couple more numbers in here. I'm trying to see who the backup center is right now. So it looks like Bersilio is going to be the center. So now comes a late 168. That's Cash Vang. So he gets into the lineup. So we got Vang in there. We got Bersilio in there. We got Nelson in there. We'll try to get the rest of the crew here as we work our way around.
Saunders goes under center, and sending wide to the left is Mora. Double wing formation. One man in motion. Inside handoff, and the ball is fumbled. And it's going to be picked up by Fava and run in for a touchdown. So 13 points in less than 2 minutes of running clock for Fountain Fort Carson, and it's now a 42-13 lead with Smith coming in to attempt his second extra point in the last few minutes. Once again, clock will continue to run. Indians still running players out there, trying to get organized on extra special teams. Smith ready to kick. Here's the snap. High, put down, kick is up, and good. So that'll probably be the last play of the third period as the teams will come to their benches. Indians will get the kickoff, but the running clock, the clock will run out here before they'll have to flip the field.
So the fumble recovery and tightens the game up in terms of the score, 42-14. But the Indians will get the ball back here and see if they can work some of that clock. I would think right now as a coaching staff, you don't mind your young kids getting in. You kind of expected them with their starting offense to come up, but I think what they would probably be talking to these young guys is they're, you know, they've been practicing all year. They've been playing JV football, and they're misalignments out there, you know, not. And to the kids' credit also is that these kids that are the backups, if you're the backup offensive guard, you're usually running the backup defense. You're running Fountain Fort during the week, and same on the other side, you know. So to the kids' behalf a little bit, they haven't had a lot of drills of what defense to line up, what to do, you know, and offensively kind of the same way. But let's see if the young guys can put something together here.
So Zimmer and Mora back deep. Indians will be going from right to left here in this fourth period. On the kickoff, the clock will start. Smith will kick it, and it's going to go out of bounds. Flag will fly, and the Indians will have, they can make a choice here, right?
They'll take it at the 35.
Yeah, they could either have a re-kick or take it at the 35. They'll take it at the 35. And since nobody touched the ball, the clock did not start.
It should continue to run.
But it should be running. So now they say, what are we doing? The kickoff team is still out there. And
I believe at the 35-yard line, the Indians will have it 1st and 10.
I think the reason the clock didn't start because nobody touched it.
That's what yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if he just missed that or was trying to.
Because it was the end of the quarter. Now, if that had been during the quarter, the clock would have continued to run. But since it was the start of a new quarter,
there we go.
The clock doesn't start till somebody touches the ball.
So 1st and 10 from the Indians from their own 35, leading at 42-14. On the snap, the clock will start. Saunders will go under center. Mora comes to the left. Single coverage out there. In fact, nobody covering him. Saunders will hand it off, trying to get around the corner.
That's Kai. Number 20, that's Kai
Pacino. And he gets swarmed under for a loss of almost 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 14.
Also in on the offensive line for the Indians is Joey Simo. He's in there as one of the linemen.
And if the Indians do this right, every snap out here should eat up almost a minute on this running clock. So Saunders comes to the sideline, gets the call. He and
Kai
Pacino will come back to the huddle as the clock rolls down to 11 minutes to play in the game. Substitution for Fountain Fort Carson. They bring in Terrence Coleman at linebacker. Saunders dropped back. He's going to throw. Fires it out, and there's miscommunication. He thought that Mora was going to run an out pattern, and Mora ran a flag pattern, or a sprint pattern. So that'll bring up 3rd and 14.
The nice thing is that incompletion,
the clock still runs. And it's still pretty much their starting defense. Fava is still out there.
Well, now they brought their big guys back in. 99's back in.
Big Watson, big number 99 is out in the middle again.
Yep.
And again, the Indians just taking their time, as they should. Back judge has not even started his count yet. Now the count starts. Saunders brings him to the line, so he'll have to get the snap off here relatively quickly to avoid the penalty. Takes the snap. Inside handoff. Saunders is going to keep it, try to get to the outside, and Fava tracks him down. And that young man at middle linebacker has got some speed.
Yeah, we were talking at halftime at the friends outside, and we all agreed that this is one of the best linebackers that we've seen in the games we've watched this year.
He's listed at 6 feet, 208 pounds. So the Indians will punt it away as the clock runs down to 9 minutes to play. It will be Curtis Jackson back deep for the Trojans. Good snap. High kick, and it's going to be lands over here in the middle of the cheerleaders. So a little bit of pressure, and the Trojans are going to get field position somewhere right at the 35-yard line of the Indians. And we'll see who they bring out. Coach Novotny over there with whatever team is coming onto the field around him.
So now they bring out, it's their backup quarterback.
This is their backups here, too. So let's see.
So this is Liana at quarterback.
Weston Liana at quarterback. Oliver's still in there. Oliver gets the ball, trying to get around the corner. Cuts back into the middle. He'll have the first down, fighting into the secondary, and falls finally down near the 20-yard line. But you know, Larry, he wanted to go further wide, and that Indian defense turned him in. They just didn't close the deal.
They've done a great job of keeping the Fountain Fort Carson.
Fort Carson is going to be Angel Ortiz.
This is like a homecoming game, isn't it?
It is an old alumni night out here.
So Liana brings him to the line, one wide to each side. Inside snap to the running back. This is number 35, Arian Hart. He is a junior running back. So it was almost like a wildcat play, actually. And he is given credit for a 1-yard gain. So 1st and 10 from the Indian 20-yard line. Or excuse me, 2nd and 9 from the Indian 20-yard line. Liana at quarterback, 2 wides to the left. He'll roll to his right, and he's going to be hit and sacked. Pacino, I believe, number 20.
If that's 20, it's Kai Pacino.
So comes blowing through that backup line, and Liana is lucky he didn't fumble that ball away, because he was trying to cock his arm back when he got hit right in the number. So big loss. Back to the 28-yard line. So now it's 3rd and 17 for Fountain, trailing at 42-14, and we do have the running clock. 6:30 to play. Send wideouts, 1 to the left, 2 to the right. Liana will roll, under pressure, throws it down. And once again, Zimmer thought he had it. Mora thought he had it. Neither one of them ended up with it.
Josiah Mora came flying through on a blitz, and he put a thumping on young Mr. Liana.
So that'll bring up 4th and almost 20. And at this point in the game, you definitely will try to pick up the first down. They can get a first down, but they're a long ways from it.
Let's see who comes from Montrose
The
on the
Indians
blitz.
are going to lay their ears back. They're going to come. Here's the snap. Liana under pressure, flushes. Now he's going to run. He gets hit at the line, and the Indians will take over on downs. So good job by the backup defense to force the 4 and out, and the Indians will take over with 5:30 clock running, and that may be the last time that Fountain sees the ball this season.
You know, that it's just a great effort by the young defense right there. They, after the bad punt, to come out and stand up there and keep them out of the end zone. So great job for the young guys. And this is just great. These guys are getting playoff experience here for, future stuff.
So Saunders comes under center. Wide out to the left, man in motion. They'll hand it to Zimmer down the right side, and he picks up where Ethan Hartman left off, gets the corner, and rolls down out of bounds, gaining close to 17 yards on that sweep.
So now you see our backups against their backups. We're back to an even game now.
Yeah.
Of the 35-yard line, as he must be going out of bounds, and it'll bring up a 2nd down, and we'll call it short.
Moore will come wide to the left again. Balance line. Now they'll overbalance to the right side. And hand off to the fullback. He's hit at the line, falls forward, and may have the first down. This is, nope, they're going to be just shy, about the length of a football short of the first down. Bring up third and less than a yard. So number 42
That's
is out
Josiah
there.
Mora.
And Josiah Moore.
Josiah.
Mora.
He was the fullback. He was the one on the carry that time.
Shy of a first down.
And then also coming in is Isaiah Miller, number 27. So he was a backup defensive nose tackle. Now he's in
Fullback.
on offense.
Yeah.
Saunders picks it up, hands it into the middle, and Trojan backup defense has a little bit of a team meeting at the running back. I think there's a flag down over there, though,
Yeah.
from the sideline. Yep, there is. He probably would have the first down, but it's going to be procedure. So they'll move it 5 yards back. They'll replay third down, but the clock is run down under 3 minutes to play. The Indians with that 42-14 lead. So the ball placed at their 30. They've got to get to just about their own 37. Saunders brings them out. Seeing their base double wing formation. Man in motion. Inside handoff. No, they go to Zimmer. Breaks into the lane. Into the secondary he goes. Loose in the backfield. To the 20. The 15. And he'll get tackled in the end zone. Touchdown, Indians. No flags. What a great run by the young man. Good blocking by the backup line. Opened that hole. And Zimmer goes 70 yards. Finally gets tackled, but right as he goes into the end zone. And Leyva out to try to tack on. I think he's going to kick. We'll see if they bring in a backup kicker. But that makes it 48-14. And the clock running down. Wow. And they're going to go for 2. So they're giving Leyva the rest of the night off. Saunders will line them up. Waits for the count to start. Now he'll go under center. Saunders will take a knee. So that very possibly is it. That Saunders takes the knee. Teams go back to the sidelines. By the time they line up, it will be almost pointless to kick the ball off.
So the Indians come into tonight, quarterfinal game, come out and put the game away in the first half. The young guys got to play, so they got playoff experience. And, congratulations to Coach Mertens and his Indians. And now they sit and wait. They will play the winner of the other quarterfinal game tonight. They played the winner of Erie, Colorado, and team they played earlier. Palmer Ridge. I don't know why I can never remember them, but I can't. And so we'll wait to see who wins in that game, to see who the Indians play and where they play.
So we are going to have a kickoff as we go under 10 seconds to play. It's on the ground, picked up, and dropped right there, and that will be it. Fountain Fort Carson finishes an outstanding season at 10-2. The Indians improve to 12-0 and definitely show why they're the number 1 seed in 4A. And as Larry just said, they will play in the 4A semifinals either at home or somewhere on the road next week.
Yeah, if I read the bulletin right, if team I can never remember, Palmer Ridge. If Palmer Ridge is the number 4 seed, Erie's the number 5. If Palmer Ridge wins the game tonight, then the Montrose Indians will be back here at home next week. And I believe if I read it right, all semifinal games are played on Saturday next week, if I read the bulletin correct.
That makes sense.
So if Erie comes up with a win, then Montrose will travel to Erie. So.
Well, we want to thank the Montrose media folks, Caitlin and Zach, for helping us out tonight, and all you folks listening at home. Thanks for listening. Once again, the final score, Montrose 48, Fountain Fort Carson 14.